You're listening to
They're gonna call it a hard foul. They're gonna call it a hard foul.
We are they going to call it a hot foul? I am Jim Quigley with my.
Hey, I'm Jimmy's younger brother, Mike Quigley, and we are brought to you by the Fan First Sports Network. Bitch, we're back. Season starts in wait, the NBA official season starts tomorrow night, right?
Tomorrow night. Yeah,
And
tomorrow
then the
night.
Boston Celtics open up against the Philadelphia 76ers. Jim, how you feeling?
Feeling good. I'm feeling good. I'm very excited for the season. As you know, I just wrote an article on
You're really
six
good. Yeah.
bowl predictions for the Celtics. I'll be posted when this pod comes out tomorrow morning. Right now it is Monday night, and I'm just stating that because crazy things seems to happen all the time now in this world. So if something happens between now and tomorrow morning, the reason we're not talking about it is because it's Monday night right now. But that we are gonna talk about that article, my six bold predictions. Mike, I know you'll weigh in on some of your own thoughts on what I wrote.
It's funny when I read it, I was like, this isn't going to be a very good pod because I agree with most of what he wrote. I was trying to find things I could argue with you about. So it was a
There we
good article, Jim.
there we go. And then Mike is gonna set the format later on at the end of the show where we're gonna pick the top 10 players of the NBA or like an NBA team based on the best players. But it will be 10
Yeah.
players that we'll draft. It'll be, a snake draft format. But Mike, hey, Wednesday night is just 2 nights away, 48 hours away. The Celtics are tipping off at
Right.
home against the 76ers. Where are you? What are you thinking about? Like, how excited you are for this season? Whatever, let's talk about this game though.
Yeah, I am. I'm excited to see just how the Sixers adjust to the Celtics' pace of play. I think that the Celtics could get out on the jump here, and maybe get out to a little lead to start the season. I have a feeling that might happen. Typically, like Joe Mazzulla teams come out to start seasons like shooting the lights out. And I think we saw some of that in preseason, and the Sixers might be a little slow to react. On the other side of things, I'm very nervous that even an out of shape Joel Embiid is going to come into the Garden and get, what do you think, Jim? Over under 15 free throws.
Yeah.
And I'm guessing around 40 points to
Well,
start the season.
well, I guess it's more of what his numbers are going to look like is how many minutes is he's going to get. I don't think that's I think that's kind of unpredictable right now. I don't know how much they've been gearing him up in practice. He only played in that one preseason game. Played,
He
I
looked
think,
good,
like
though.
15 minutes. So,
He scored
so
14 points in 15 minutes.
he did. So in a
Yeah.
short sample size, he dominated. But how does that look when he gets to 25, 30 minutes? And what
He'll be
does his legs
tired.
look like? Well,
Mhm.
that's the thing. I don't know. I mean, they could be running him to death at practice, and maybe he's a great athlete, so maybe he's just fully ready to go. So that's going to be interesting to me from that aspect. The Celtics don't have a lot of guys to match up against them.
They don't have
Al's
any guys to
gone.
match up against
No,
him. Let's start there.
the length
Yeah.
of Gaza and Cornette. I mean, not Gaza. Excuse me. Porzingis and Cornette are gone. Um, in the past they've played guys like Holiday and Smart against him, and then showed double. I mean, the Celtics have always, we've always talked about the singular defense from Al or whomever on Embiid being somewhat effective to not slow him down, but make it difficult enough and maybe wear him out. But a lot of that was derived from their ability to have four other guys that can defend the yard and switch everything. And that's really been the case for the Celtics for almost a decade, with all their teams. It's not really the case anymore.
Not at
They've
all.
not at all. But Missoula is, coaching them up differently there. He's not expecting them to play that way. He wants them to be aggressive. He's not afraid to foul, so I'm sure Embiid will get a ton of shots at the
It's
line,
got to be. It's got to
you
be
know.
Timlin. It's got to be Xavier Tillman with doubles, right? I would expect you're going to see that. I mean,
Yeah.
when you think about who's probably the strongest player on the post,
But
like
yeah,
as far as like body frame
I
and who
wonder if
can
you
get
see
out on
min
the perimeter and defend,
I wonder if
I
you see
can't think of anybody else.
I wonder if you see minutes with both him and Cater out there because you need Cater's rebounding. They were a different looking team with Cater get a lot of minutes. We saw that in the last preseason game against Toronto. They just rebound way better. and like they're better on both ends of the floor. So it's there's
Yeah, I
limitations,
think
and what
Tillman would be
Missoula
my
does.
first player off the bench for probably Hauser, and I would go with that. I mean, but then again, he might. I don't know because you don't know how many minutes Embiid's going to play at a time. You may consider starting Tillman just for this game,
Could, yeah.
and you having Hauser your first guy off the bench. It'd be very interesting to see what this all looks like, Jim. Yeah.
I see. I think they're going to go to what you talked about in the last pod, Mike. I think they're just going to run like bats out of hell, even on makes, even when
Mhm.
Philly makes. And I think they're going to try to wear Embiid out with just running him up and down the court and having multiple guys that can do it. Coming in, quick substitutions, playing a lot of guys, and just trying to play as fast as possible. I think that's what their strategy is going to be against this older Sixers team. And it may work, especially early in the season. You could see Embiid or not being quite in conditioned, or Paul
Mhm.
George not being quite in conditioned,
And
and the
his backup
Celtics,
center can't
yeah,
run. Drummond's not a guy who can get up
no.
and down. So, um,
And all the
yeah,
Celtics Sundays can run. Yeah.
I think early on in the season, I would suggest the Celtics play 10, 11 guys every night because you need to find out who they are. There's no reason after seeing this preseason that Hugo Gonzalez should ever sit. He should get out there and play. Um, I think they have to see what they got.
I,
You got three centers. You have Tillman, you have Keita, you have Gaza. In my mind, all three should play.
I think it's a necessity. I don't even
Yeah,
think it's a matter of just to see what you have. I think you have to with the way they want to play.
exactly.
They want to be full out, effort, playing as fast as possible, uber aggressive on defense. Like, that game against Toronto was kind of eye-opening. And now Toronto can't shoot, so they can't hurt you.
Once again, they can't
Yeah, we
shoot.
go back to the last pod. You predicted maybe good things for Toronto. I don't know. They can't shoot, and they refuse to shoot.
Hmm.
Um,
It's unbelievable.
but the Celtics, were pretty aggressive, protecting the paint and sending multiple guys in there and grabbing and clawing and seeing what they could get away with. And they fouled a ton and did not get called for it. And I wonder if that trend's going to continue into the season. If it does, for a bad defensive team, that helps you. So it'll be interesting. And look, to me though, Mike, I'll tell you, the guy that scares me the most on the Sixers is,
It's Maxi.
yeah. Yeah, I still don't think the Celtics, the one thing that hasn't changed, they don't really have anyone that can stay in front of him. And
No. Who in the NBA really does, though?
I know, and he kind of got to wherever he want, especially in that game on Christmas Day last year against the Celtics, and dominated there. And I mean, you're not going to wear that dude down. He's super talented. That's a guy offensively that I just don't think the Celtics have any answers for. And it's going to be interesting to see, especially with McCain out. Do they employ any traps against him? And but if you do that, what does that do for Paul George? What does that do for
Well,
Embiid?
Paul George isn't
So
playing.
Paul George is out.
He's out.
Oh, okay. Well,
Yeah, so
that
Paul George
changes
isn't
things
playing.
significantly. Yeah.
I guess. I mean, Paul George, when he played last year, wasn't good. So I really don't know what he is anymore.
Yeah, but if he's even close to being okay, he can really be a son of a bitch on defense against Jaylen Brown.
Maybe. We'll see. I don't know if he
Yeah.
is anymore.
No.
I mean, the kid they drafted is what's his name, Jim? Philly drafted a good player. Philly drafted maybe the best offensive
Yeah, it
player in the
begins with
draft.
an E. I forget why am I forgetting his Edgeman or something? Oh, like I'll look it up
He's
right now.
Yeah, I mean, the way the Celtics look defensively, I think this kid and Maxey could give the Celtics real problems. And once McCain comes back,
BJ
Philly's an interest.
Edgecombe.
Yeah, BJ, exactly. This kid can play. Philly's an interesting place where they have three young guards who are really good.
Yep.
Um, and they need to figure out what they have with Embiid moving forward because I don't know if their future plans are around Joel Embiid anymore. It's an
Yeah.
interesting, and that's may not be a bad thing either because they may have some replaceable parts with those three kids to build something around. So
I mean, if Embiid is pretty good this year, there's a
they're
real
scary.
argument. Well,
They're scared.
there's an argument to be made for them to trade him in the offseason if he's actually pretty good this year too, because you're going to
What
get
if
two
he
seasons.
like is a miracle happened and he's in shape?
Do you anticipate he's going to have 2 or 3 seasons in a row like that? So
No.
that would be the reason I would
But
really
what about
consider
in a
moving him.
one-off? Could you win a championship if he was in shape?
I don't if he's I don't know, Mike, because even if he's in great shape now, is he physically able to do it anyway? Like he did
Well,
not
that's a different question. Yeah.
he did not look like himself at all last year. So I don't know how to really answer that. I mean, if you tell me it's the Embiid from 2 seasons ago or 3 seasons whenever he won that MVP award, yeah, they would have a chance
You know
with
what his best season
Maxey
was?
and McCain, sure.
I feel like his best season was when he didn't win the MVP and Kawhi Leonard hit that buzzer beater in Game 7. I felt like that was the best Philly team that had a shot at winning the NBA Finals, the one with Jimmy Butler. And, but Kawhi, I mean, that shot to not go into overtime, that was the best and I don't feel like we've ever seen that version of Embiid ever since that shot.
I tell you what, for tomorrow night, I think you're right too, Mike, on that. And I tell you what too, for tomorrow night, without George, without McCain, Maxey's, as great as he is offensively, we've seen him get attacked in the playoffs. He's not a great defensive player. And they really are limited there. And there are serious opportunities for guys like White, Pritchard,
Oh
Brown,
yeah.
and Simons tomorrow night to really have big nights and get shots that they want. Of course, a
Hauser
couple of
too.
those guys will be attacked on the other end, but I'm more talking about just the playmakers. The
Hmm.
playmakers have a real chance to have good nights tomorrow night. There's not going to be the resistance that I think
Wednesday night.
Wednesday night, the resistance, well, when this pod airs, it'll be
Oh,
tomorrow
that's
night.
true too. Yeah.
So when the Sixers are full strength, they can offer a lot more resistance than they will be able to tomorrow night.
Yeah. So I'm gonna say my prediction is that the Celtics do win tomorrow, that Embiid has a really big game, but that Philly just runs out of gas because um they're just not at that in shape enough yet to win that kind of game. I would say if there was a 7 game series between these two teams right now, I might lean Philly, but I think tomorrow night, Celtics are going to take it at home.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I just never trust Philly even in the playoffs. I could never in good conscience pick them to beat the Celtics. Unless things like change. It just they've never been built to do that. Um,
Well, in the 80s they were.
and yeah, well, one time in the 80s, one time. Um, Mike, let's move forward. So I made 6 predictions in the article that is going to be released when this pod comes out Tuesday morning.
Tuesday.
Um, so the first the first one that I put up, it's something we've been talking about, quite a bit. I don't know how much to add to this other than this is going to be a fun team to watch. And I even felt even better about that after the Raptors game. Like their defensive approach is really it's it's a coach understanding what his limitations are. They talk a lot about like comparing how OKC played last year. Well, yeah, they're playing the style because they don't have the guys that have the ability to guard their yard really anymore. So they need to get aggressive. They're protecting the paint. I mean, it has the potential against good teams to give up a lot of threes and a lot of open looks.
Oh yeah.
Um, but against you could definitely catch some teams on an off night, and you should be able to beat teams that are at your level or subpar, or give them enough fits with that type of style. I just think it's going to be a lot of fun. I think it's going to be fast. I think it's going to be aggressive. I think we're going to see a lot of guys, and I think we're all going to enjoy it pretty much
Yeah,
for the most part.
yeah, I think so too. I think one thing wasn't in the article that I wanted to bring up is I think their biggest challenge outside of the obvious of the rebounding and whatnot, I think it's
Yeah.
going to be fourth quarter execution. And I think at the end of the year, their record is going to depend on how they played in those close games. And I think there's going to be a lot of close games this year. And so how do they execute when the game's slowed down? Offensively, but also defensively, are they going to have the ability by December to start making stops in those situations? I think early on it could be a real struggle. will they build towards something? You would hope so, but I think the rebounding and lack of size and then fourth quarter execution is something I'll be kind of taking a look at this year.
Know how they're going to do it, Mike, and can transition right into my second prediction is Mr. Fourth Quarter, Derrick
Derrick
White.
White.
Yeah, Derrick White has been a big time shot maker in the fourth quarter since he's been here. And now for the first time since he's been here, he's not going to be a complimentary piece. They got to run offense through him. And even with Brown on the floor, they are going to run offense through him. And he has a green light to shoot whenever he wants. He has a green light to make decisions. He's like we talked about before, he's a 1 second guy, 1 second pass, a shoot, but he can also create for himself. I predict a huge year for Derrick White. I think he's going to be an all-star. I think career year statistically across the board. Um, a lot of people talk about Jaylen Brown, and I get it, but Jaylen Brown's great anyways. I would pick him to be great even if Tatum was here. This is, I think White is going to see the biggest bounce.
Yeah, I think they need him to average like 23, 24 points a game
I
this
think
year.
he's going to, yeah.
Yeah, I agree, Jim. We saw it in the preseason too. I think he's improved a little bit too. I know it's been a small sample size, but he's finishing at the rim in these preseason games. He's always done a pretty good job finishing at the rim, but it's not floaters. Like he's going to the
Yeah.
rim. He's going, he's finishing layups with guys on him. He looks a little bit stronger as an athlete. So I don't know what his workout plan was, but he looked like he got a little bit bigger. Um, Maybe that helps him defensively because he's good defensively, obviously, especially recovering, but he does get beat off the dribble. So maybe he's going to be better there too. So I am excited for Derek White this year as well. I think he was spot on in the article. People should read it.
Yeah, I think so too, and I think he's gonna get. I didn't put this in the article, and I should have, but I think he's gonna get the Jaylen Brown benefits. What I mean is like over the last couple of years, Brown has really benefited in a lot of ways from Tatum seeing the double teams and the different defenses. Brown's gonna see that now. So who's gonna benefit? It's gonna be Derek White. He's gonna get a lot of single coverage opportunities against secondary defenders where he's gonna be able to cook. And because Brown's going to draw that defense, and it's going to be great for him.
Yeah, and another guy too, if he's starting this year, which it looks like he probably is, Hauser as a starter, Scals brought up in the preseason, his numbers are outrageous. And I feel like he's the type of guy who could have a career year too if he's healthy. His shooting, he looks healthy right now in the preseason. The Celtics are going to be playing this style of play. He could see a lot of open threes this year. Um, and with Tatum out, they're going to need guys to up their scoring. So I think you're going to see that from Hauser and White.
Yep.
I mean, with Pritchard, like I said this in the offseason, can we really expect him to play better than he did last year? Even as a starter, he averaged like 17 a game. Um, I mean, what kind of jump are we looking to on the stat sheet? I don't think it's on the stat sheet with
Mm.
him. I think it's more of consistent play throughout with guys now targeting him because he's no longer a six man. He's playing big minutes and big moments. How does he do in those moments? I think his numbers are gonna kind of even out to about the same, right? Like,
Yeah, I think you're solid on that. I think what's out there to prove for him is that he's an NBA starter. I don't think his ceiling's an all-star like Derek White's is.
oh,
Uh, and I think he's pretty much done that, with on a championship team.
mhm.
I mean, they were loaded, so he wasn't a starter. But if he plugged him in, if Holiday went down the championship year and he was a starting point guard, they probably still would have won it, if we're in the playoffs. Maybe
Yep.
not with Holiday. I mean, Holiday was fantastic. But yeah, no, I think he's a starter in this league, but I think it's his opportunity to prove it. He'll take it seriously. But I'm with you. I don't see a huge jump in numbers or even shot opportunities. I think that shot distribution, who's going to see the benefit it's going to be Derek White.
So let me ask you a question about Sam Hauser. If he's a starter playing consistent starter minutes, over or under 15 points a game?
I think slightly under, but I'm
Slightly under.
hoping I'm hoping his average is about 7 3-point attempts a game. I
Yeah,
think
me
that's a
too.
number you want to look at. Like
Mhm.
Brown and and White and Pritchard and Simons penetrating and be able to find him moving. That's a great thing about him. He doesn't have to stand still, moving and getting him that 3-point look. So I think it's a 3-point attempt number that's important for him. And I think it should be around 7 or 8 if he's starting somewhere in that range.
Yeah, I hope that Hauser gets kind of like the JJ Redick treatment, where people used to go to Redick early in games, and he'd
Hmm.
get most of his points in the first quarter, and that would loosen up the defense. I think that's an opportunity for
Yeah.
Joe to kind of look and use him similar to that, where he's a guy that gets most of his points in the fourth and first quarter.
Yeah, no, I could see that. I could very well see that. I like Hauser. I think for him, the biggest thing is to show that now. He showed his first year that when teams isolate and slow down, he can guide his job pretty well. Where he was exposed last year on teams going fast against him. So
Mm-hmm.
like, how is he adjusted to get better there? And he doesn't have to
Oh,
be.
sorry about that.
No, it's all right. He doesn't have. Do you need to pause this?
No, it's
All right.
fucking thing does it randomly. I don't know.
All right.
Yeah.
He's got to be great. We're gonna just leave this all in, by the way.
Okay.
He's gonna be great. He doesn't have to be great, but he has to be better. Mike, my next prediction, and I think this is a tough start to the season. This schedule is fucking brutal. 15 of the 20 first games are against probably playoff teams.
Mm-hmm.
Majority of those are going to finish in the top half of their conference. I think 6 of the first 10 against teams in the probably going to be a playoff or finish in the top half of their conference. Um, like I think the key word here is survive, right? You need to survive this stretch. They may be under 500, but
Yeah,
like you
I'd
just
say a
can't
game
get
or two under
demolished.
500 isn't the end of the world.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's how I would put. I mean, on Sports Talk Radio, it'll be the end of the world. But I think if they come out to start the season like you know, 9-11, that's all right. Kind of.
I even think 8 and 12 would it'd be disappointing, but it's okay. Like those, I'd consider that surviving. But
Mhm.
like the schedule, it has the potential to. I mean, you could see how it could just go haywire, like in the bottom fallout. Like these are
Well,
really
Brown's hurt.
good team. Yeah.
If Jalen Brown's hamstring is serious, this season is you're looking at disaster. Yeah.
It doesn't seem serious. He was practicing today. I think game one is probably 50-50. Um,
Man, when I saw that kid at
yep.
BYU playing, though, I was like, maybe Joe wants to sit Brown for the whole season.
I don't think that's in the cards. I
Yeah.
don't think that's in the cards. Um, yeah, so this is the first I think you're right. If it's 9-11, even 8 and 12, okay. But man, it's a brutal stretch. And I didn't realize it until earlier this week. And I'm just like going over every game, like, hold on, Cleveland and then Houston and then
I
Minnesota. And I was like, oh my
yeah.
God, the Knicks. So
A lot of good teams in the NBA. When you think about the Western Conference, it's stacked, right? So yeah, they'll and the Celtics will surprise us. They will. Joe's a good coach. This is a tough stretch, but 9-11, 8-12, I agree. The world's not burning, but if they go 12-8, I'm not going to be surprised. I got to be honest.
Oh,
I'm
12
not.
and 8, they could be cooking because then the December is just kind of really soft. It's a really
Yeah, but
soft
they're
schedule.
you say that, but then like they could go 12-8, and then December comes and they go 9-11 because they're not that good of a team. you know? So your end of the article, you hit on Gonzalez a little bit, Jim.
Sure, go
My
there.
prediction for him this year, if he's healthy, play all 82 games, and if he gets real minutes, he could be, all rookie second team. I think he is.
Oh yeah.
I think we're seeing somebody that could develop into a very good player one day.
Yeah, so I guess I think he looks like a guy who's going to play a lot of games. I think he's going
I,
to be in
I
the
hope so.
rotation, solidly in the rotation. He looks like he makes veteran plays out there. His shot seems decent
Good enough.
enough. He's solid defensively. He kind of looks. He doesn't seem to try to do too much out there like a lot of rookies. My only question is, I don't know. I don't, from what I've seen, I have no idea what his ceiling is. Like, I don't know if he like is NBA starter or even better than that, or if this is just the guy he's going to be that we have right now, that's solid
Playing.
and always a contributor. He kind of reminds me of Rick Fox a little bit. You know, when
Mm.
he came into the league, you know, he was polished and ready to play and, you know, borderline starter and was always that guy, even on a championship team. And my God, that's great for the
He
end of the
reminds me a
draft.
little
So
bit of
don't get me wrong. Of who?
Manu Ginobili.
Oh, really? I don't see that.
I see a
Why?
little bit because he's got a quick Euro step. He's good at getting to the rim. He's got good handles.
Yeah,
I, I don't think he's gonna be Manu Ginobili, but he looks like a savvy player.
Manu was
Like,
much quicker. I thought more
well,
skilled.
Manu's one of the best
Yeah,
players to ever play in the NBA.
yeah,
But I'm just saying in general, he's got a little bit of that in his game.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. No, I guess I could see that a little bit. I've seen some Marcus Smart comparisons, and originally kind of maybe thought that during summer league. I don't see that.
I don't see
This
that at
is
all.
I do see Rick Fox, so like that's the guy that just keeps popping into my head every time I watch him play, especially his rookie year. Rick was really polished, and then was kind of that same steady play all throughout his career. And you know, it'd be great if I'm kind of wrong and he's better than that, but that's also would be great for the end of the draft. That'd be a great pick for the end of the
Absolutely,
draft.
absolutely.
My other two, Mike, we'll just mold them together. I think Missoula is going to get Coach of the Year consideration, and I also think Tatum. I guess this is a little bit different than what people are saying. I think
We
Tatum will
already,
come back.
yeah,
I think Tatum will come back, and not only do I think he will come back, I think by the end of the season, we're going to be talking about like, oh my God, this guy looks close to form. Um,
I've been saying this
eh,
all summer. This isn't news. I have.
I'm even rolling back my February prediction that I made on an earlier pod. I just don't know. I like wouldn't be shocked if he's back in January at this point from everything you're seeing and the way he's talking. Like you don't have these solidly published videos for a return next year. It's for this season.
Yeah, absolutely. It's in his DNA. It's who he is.
And my record and placement for the Celtics 44-38. I think they'll be sixth in the East. I think they're going to avoid the play-in. I know you have them probably a little under that, but
Yeah,
that's where I'm landing.
yeah. I got him in the play-in. I got him in the play-in, but I got him getting in, and whoever that two seed is, they're gonna give him fits.
Yep. And maybe you have Tatum back, so that would
And if you have Tatum back, they're going to the Eastern Conference
oh,
Finals at least.
we're changing the discussion on what their
Yeah,
ceiling
all
is.
together.
All right, Mike, let's go to this draft. Give us the guidelines
Yeah,
on
the
this.
guidelines. We're picking the best players in the league, but we're trying to build a team with them. Right?
And so it's players that we know will play too. Like so Jason Tatum shouldn't be drafted in this draft, right?
Right. No,
Okay.
no.
So it's for the 25-26 season.
Yes. Yes. And so, Jim, it's a snake draft. So do you want the first pick or do you want like back to back second and third pick?
I don't care. If I had a coin, I'd flip it. I don't have a coin.
I'll do rock, paper, scissors, shoot.
Yeah, let's
First
do it.
pick. Rock,
Rock,
paper.
paper, scissors, shoot. All
What
right.
do you got?
I had paper too.
Oh, you got
Let's do it
paper
again.
too?
Rock, paper, scissors, shoot. All right, you beat me.
I
I
got
had a
paper.
I
At
had a
the fir-
rock.
All right, first pick of the draft. I'm taking, this is tough between SGA and Jokic.
No, it's
Real
not.
tough. I'm taking Jokic.
Yeah, that's not very tough at all. Obviously,
Really? Guy averaged like 34 points a game last year.
Jokic should have been MVP last year too. I don't like. I get it. He had a great season, but
Great. Like he had a all-time statistical season breaking records, SGA.
I don't know how you share the ball with these two picks, but they're just the next two best players. I'm taking SGA and Luca. Obviously, would be my next two. Yeah.
SGA and Luca. All right. I'm gonna put Wemby next to Jokic. And I'm going to I'm gonna put Giannis at small forward. My team's gonna be fucking huge.
Yeah, that's pretty intimidating. Well, these next two are going to surprise you, I think, a little bit. If I'm building a team, this isn't necessarily maybe how I'd rank the players, but if I'm building a team for size, I think Evan Mobley has the potential to be a top 10 player this year, depending on how what his
Oh
approach to the
man, I'm
season
gonna
is.
eat you up. I am gonna eat
Is
you up.
defensively, I think he's very good. And I think the second best center in the NBA is Alvan Sengun, and that's who I'm going to take.
All right. All right. So I'm gonna go with Steph Curry. Put him at point guard. Now I'm surrounding Jokic with some shooting. And I'm just gonna say fuck it. And my shooting guard is gonna be Kevin Durant. I'm going to be the longest team, but I'm going to have shooting with Curry and Durant.
Well, if I was gonna take a guy now so now I feel like I got to play your team. So let me just be clear. If I was actually just gonna take a guy who I think is the next best player or clutch and all that stuff, it'd be Jalen Brunson right here.
Mhm.
I missed the fourth quarter, all those things, balls of steel. Love the guy, but now I feel like I need size. I need a NBA Finals MVP. I need a guy who can play two-way, and I'm going to go with Jalen Brown. I'm
There
going to
you
take my
go.
man Jalen Brown. And by the way, I do think Jalen Brown's going to make an All-NBA team this year. Um, as long as the game's played adds up, I think he's going to be an All-NBA guy.
Man, Jalen Brown's not going to be able to embarrass Luca anymore. He's going to have to be his teammate.
Mike, did you write down these teams?
I did not. LeBron James was not drafted.
No, no. So I'm going to have to go back and look to make this graphic. Let's go over it right now. So you took,
I took
uh,
with my first two picks Jokic and Wemby.
yep. Who was your
My
third?
third my third pick was Giannis.
Yeah.
My fourth pick was Steph Curry, and my fifth pick was Kevin Durant.
Durant's a weird one. Is he gonna? Do you think?
I don't know. If he plays, he's unbelievable. That's
Yeah.
all I know. Like when he's out there, I'm watching the Netflix series with him. Maybe that's got my brain juices going. But he's just like beautiful as a basketball player. He's got the best shot in the league.
So I got SGA, Luca, Evan Mobley, which I know is gonna surprise people, but this has got to be the year it clicks for him. It has to be. And then I take Sagoon
And
and
Jalen
Jalen
Brown.
Brown.
Wow, over Anthony Edwards.
Yeah,
Anthony Edwards and Donovan Mitchell did not get drafted.
I would take Brown over Mitchell because of the defensive side of it. I mean, let's be fair. Anthony Edwards is a better player than Brown overall.
Yeah, I agree with
But
that.
if I'm building a team, Anthony Edwards needs shots. I have Luca, I have SGA. Jalen
I
Brown
think
isn't going
my
to need as
mistake was
many
taking
shots.
Kevin Durant. I had enough
Yeah.
size. I probably should have drafted like a Brown or an Edwards. And can you imagine a Steph
Well,
Curry
if you're trying to build a team to win, right? Would you take Brunson or Edwards?
build a team to win?
Yeah, talent equal across the board.
Edwards, because I can't count on Brunson making it through the season. I'm sorry. His
Hasn't he though?
size, not 2 years ago, he didn't,
Yeah,
you know? And Edwards is still young. I know people get on him for being immature.
yeah.
If he ever figures it out, the Minnesota Timberwolves could go to the NBA Finals.
Yeah, you're right. It's
Yeah.
Edwards. It's Edwards. Yeah,
Um, can you imagine if Jokic and Curry were on the same team?
yeah. It'd be
You wouldn't be able to stop that.
and speaking of which, I feel like Jamal Murray is like the key to the Nuggets this year. It's what can he give them? Can he be an all-star?
Oh man,
That's the difference I feel like for them.
it is, and it's injuries that slowed him down.
Yeah.
So you just don't know. Remember him in the bubble? How good he was.
Oh yeah.
Like
Him
he's
against him against Donovan Mitchell.
yeah, Utah
Yeah.
Denver. That series was like
Yeah.
incredible. Um, there's a lot of talent in this league. I do highly recommend you watch the new season of The Five on Netflix. Jalen Brown is one of the characters they followed last NBA season.
This
The
NBA season, right?
last
Was it
NBA
last?
season.
Oh, it was. Okay.
So the way they start the episode is prior to Game 7 of the NBA Finals, following around Tyrese Halliburton and SGA, interviewing them both, and then showing the injury of Halliburton and his
Uh,
reaction in the locker room. It's really good. And Jim, they got James Harden and Kevin Durant this season that they're following. They're worth the watch just for the interviews.
I look forward to it. Can I give
Yeah.
one more? Can I give one more Celtics bold prediction that wasn't in the article that just occurred to me right now? And
Yeah,
then we'll
hell
close
yeah.
this up. Um, I do think Brad's going to make a trade before the deadline, and I think it will be to cut salary
Okay, so Simons,
or Hauser, something like that. Yeah.
Hauser would be a mistake.
Yeah. I'm telling you, that's what I think is going to happen.
I
We
have
can't
a
get
pretty
upset about something that hasn't happened yet, but I think that's going to happen.
yeah. Um, I think also the Celtics are there's going to be some former Celtics this year that we're really going to miss, and they look like they're going to be playing. I mean, if the preseason tells us anything, they're all still good. Holiday looked healthy, KP looked healthy. Um, maybe Al's not going to be that good, but
Yeah.
Man, they lost a lot of fucking talent.
Yeah, we'll see with KP and Holiday how much of a season, and I don't think Portland's going to be very good. So how they manage Holiday will be interesting. Um, and speaking, I got one more pet peeve. One more pet peeve I need to get off my chest. That idiot Dan Greenberg over at Barstool Sports.
Hey,
He's
why
not
do you
an
hate him
idiot.
so much?
He's not an idiot, but I shouldn't say that. But he keeps like he is like Celtic state media. And I know I'm a huge Celtics fan, but he like if he was a real press, he'd be working for Fox News. He today he's just back on Twitter, like saying, uh, completely defending teams getting out of the second apron on the third season because of all the basketball penalties and what that would mean for team building. I mean, cut the shit.
Bullshit. It's absolute bullshit.
It's such
Because if they kept
garbage.
the roster together and Tatum comes back, they're the favorite to win the finals this year.
Are we worried about the draft pick freezing 7 seasons from now? Like
No,
being at the back of the draft? Teams trade draft picks all the time for players that aren't good enough to like get them over the top. And now you tell me the main motivator to get out of the second apron is because they might have a frozen draft pick 7 seasons from now when they have a chance to win a championship. So they're making a chance to blow it up to win a championship. It's money. And the league colluded in the CBA that they
uh-huh.
weren't going to go into the second apron 3 seasons in a row and they were going to cut spending because they want a hard cap. This is all about dollars and cents. And it's not necessarily even about what they're going to spend in the season and being $50 million over the whatever it is,
Yeah,
$500 salary cap. It is about never doing it so they can go back to the bargaining table and say, we tried this, it's not working. We need a hard cap. And players make less, they make more. That's it.
yeah. And baseball is going to try to emulate it, and there won't be a season in 2027. So there you go.
Yeah, the Players Association, they would have lost public opinion, but they should have not assigned the CBA. And
I
maybe they
agree
should have
because
went on strike. Yeah.
all the middle to lower tier players never. I mean, they get paid, but they never are going to see an increase in pay.
No, and the owners are now going to draw a line at a hard cap. I'd sell my house. I'd bet my house on it. They're gonna next CBA, it's going to be all about a hard cap. And so, like people like Greenberg, like falling for this, like penalties, like argument. It's yeah,
Ridiculous.
they're there, but it's almost like an excuse.
And
Like it's
that penalty may not exist when there's another negotiation.
and look, the penalties for the Celtics, like there were reasons to get out of it because they weren't going to be a championship team. So they might as well get out of those basketball penalties. The once Tatum went down, it changed everything. But the fact that they looked like they were going to do it anyways, I mean, come on.
I know. I know. And they might be wrong about not being a championship contender because Tatum could be coming back as the same player.
Yeah.
So they could be very wrong about that. And I almost want it to happen as a fuck you.
Yeah, well, I want it to happen because I want good basketball more than that.
Uh-huh.
My years are getting less and less. I'm 46 years old. I just how many windows do I have here?
Yeah, I'm starting
So
to lose hair, Jim, finally.
yeah.
I am. I'm going to be
Uh,
bald like you and useless.
well, we have to get a hat. All right. We'll talk to everyone soon. We'll have some
Right
great
up.
music in the outro. See ya.
Yeah.
My eyes feel like they're gonna bleed. Right up and bulging out my skull. My mouth is dry. Face is numb. Wrapped up and spun out in my